Now we go to guide problem number 4. So Pam bought 1/4 of a pound of plain and 1/8 of a pound of Kona coffee. So we're talking about of the different kinds of coffee in here in this table. So the question is, how much money did she spend for both? So for both Kona coffee and plain coffee. So you would notice that we're having some fractions given here. So I got 1/4 of a pound, 1/4 of a pound, and 1/8 of a pound for Kona coffee. So what we can do in here, so that, and you would notice that our options also are decimals. So makes sense that we might actually convert these fractions into a decimal. And how would you do that? So that's going to be the first step that we need to do. So step 1, make those fractions be equivalent in terms of a decimal. So that's going to be 1/4. And how we're going to make it as a decimal. So there might be 2 cases that we have in here. When you have a calculator, all you need to do is to do 1 divided by 4. And that gives you what? 1 divided by 4 is going to be 0.25. And the other one is going to be 1/8. So make use of the calculator again. So 1 divided by 8 means what? So 1 divided by 8, so I got 1 divided by 8. I think that's around 0.125. Okay? Because I would say that 1/8 is basically half of 1/4. So what's the half of 0.25? So divide 25 by 2, so that's going to be 12.5, or making sense, it's going to be 0.125. So that's it. So we got the expression of these fractions in decimals. So we're going to go now to the expression on how to find the answer. So in the question, how much money did she spend? So that basically says I have to find how much pound was actually bought for plain coffee. So it's going to be 1/4. That means to say 0.25. You have to multiply this by how much per pound for plain coffee. That's going to be 15 and 80. So you're going to multiply this by 15 and 80. So add this, because we're talking about how much money did she spend in all. So we're talking about the totality. So this is just for the plain coffee. So now we add it to the price of the Kona coffee. And how we're going to find it? So how many pounds did she actually go for Kona? It's 1/8, or 0.125. So 0.125, you're going to multiply this by how much is per pound of the Kona. That's going to be 20 and 40. So 20.40. So all we need to do is to multiply this 2. And that would mean to say, okay, I can make use of my calculator in here. So that's going to be 0.25 multiplied by 15 and 80. So that's going to be $3.95. This is going to be for the plain coffee alone. We're going to add it with the Kona coffee we have. It's going to be 0.125 multiplied by 20.40. And that would give us 2.55. Okay, and the final answer would be, add this 2, so it's going to be 6.5. So the total amount of money that he would, or she would actually spend is going to be $6.50. That's all for review session number 1.